Who doesn't love kicking back and relaxing with one of your favorite movies? And who doesn't also love picking apart those movies until you find every little thing that's wrong with them? And I don't mean simple continuity errors either, like when Captain Jack Sparrow steps off a sinking ship with his right foot and lands on a dock with his left, or when Danny McBride suddenly has a TV appear in his hands after the ride in Hot Rod. No, I mean scenes that defy all logic, whether it's something that must have happened off camera, or when a movie flat out ignores information learned or events that have already happened in order to make the current scene work. Here are 4 movie moments that don't make any sense. The first scene we'll look at is from Four Brothers. The story of adopted brothers who look to solve the murder of their mother features a shootout halfway through in which the orchestrator of the murder, Victor Sweet, sends some of his henchmen to the Mercer house in order to put an end to their search for him once and for all. Let's take a look at how it begins.
Douglas, come on, man. This is Detroit. Sweet owns Douglas. He ain't nothing but a gangster in a suit. I don't pay him, and now he shuts my loans off. End of story, end of project.
So what about the 20 grand?
I just told you. You want to cross the bridge, you got to pay the toll. I took the money from Mom's insurance. I was going to pay the bribe. Until y'all
Your mother was a whore.
Yes, you.
Hey, look, you, man. I will kick your... Son of a bitch! Piece of shit! Jack! Jack!
They get lucky and manage to arrive when Marky Mark and Co. are in the middle of an argument and off their guard. Now I have no problem with this. After all, a story without a few coincidences probably isn't a story worth telling. Now my problem is with the guy who rings the doorbell. He tries to draw one of them out for an easy kill and does just that when the youngest, Jack, goes out to check. He then throws a snowball at Jack, who then goes running into the street to return the favor, and only then does he turn around to reveal the sinister hockey mask. This is clearly a shock to Jack, which means he couldn't have faced him until this point, so how could Bernie Perron over here have possibly thrown that snowball? He hits Jack with pinpoint accuracy and what looks to be pretty high velocity, and he somehow manages to do it without turning around? What kind of crazy over-the-shoulder blindsided throw did this guy manage to pull off? He shouldn't be in a gang, he should be in the majors making plays to put Derek Jeter to shame. And it couldn't have been somebody else either, because we clearly see him pick up the snow, and even if it was, you'd think Jack would run in that direction instead. Instead, what we have here is the greatest throw in film history, and we don't even get to see it. The next moment was really brief, just a shot lasting only a few seconds in Jurassic World. It bothered me the moment I saw it in the trailer, and you can see it when the ACU is on their way to take down the Indominus Rex. You can see the trucks drive by next to a river, depicting what appears to be a really fun aspect of the park. Tourists kayaking next to a group of a few different dinosaurs, among them several Stegosaurus. Now it could have gotten over this if Jurassic World had been a reboot, but it's not. Think back to when Claire first enters the control room and we meet Larry, who fills the now seemingly mandatory role of the self-referential character vaguely aware they're actually in a movie. He's wearing an original Jurassic Park t-shirt and makes the claim that despite never opening, that first park was legit. So we know this movie takes place in the exact same universe as the first one, even before Zach and Gray make it to the site of the first park. And if Jurassic World takes place in the same universe as the first one, then it also takes place in the same as the second two. Think back to The Lost World when we first meet Julianne Moore's character. She's snapping pictures of a family of Stegosaurus and everything is going fine. She's even able to reach out and touch the baby. But then she takes one picture too many and the camera starts to rewind, startling them all. She knows she messed up right away too, and is barely able to dodge a spiked tail before getting lucky she found a log big enough to hide in. Somehow this information is forgotten, which makes sense since they spent the next few days running from raptors, but you think somebody working for this park would eventually discover this too. Surely this will happen again at some point. Do you think somebody's cell phone won't go off at the wrong time? This island does seem to have pretty good coverage unless it's convenient for the plot for it not to. And guests are fully separated from every full-grown animal except for at this river. Those gyrospheres are fully encased in bulletproof glass and there's not even a dinosaur in that field. And one more thing real quick. Where does this guy come from? The first victim of the I-Rex, he's already in the pen the moment those two characters from Parks and Rec, Lawrence and What's-His-Face, walk in. Yes, he's standing by that dino-sized door they felt was a good idea to install for no explicable reason, but there's no indication they let anyone outside the control room know there was an issue. At least they had the decency to give him a red shirt under his uniform since he's literally only there to get eaten. The next scene takes place in space, which almost isn't even really fair to discuss. Even Interstellar, which shows the science better than most, still has its share of inaccuracies, and all movies on the subject take a lot of liberties in scenes that are set above the Kármán line. Maybe one day we'll get lucky and a movie about space will be made that doesn't make Neil deGrasse Tyson cry himself to sleep. But the final battle in Serenity wasn't even really trying. Now I love this scene as it's a brilliant move of Mal's to get the Reavers to follow them, causing a major distraction for the Alliance. And Wash shows his skills as a pilot, pulling off some incredible moves. But with those moves comes some serious G-forces. You can see this at the end when Serenity enters a spin and they finally decide it's a good idea to buckle up. But those forces should have been acting on them a lot earlier. So Wash is steering Serenity through all kinds of crazy maneuvers, and you have Mal and Zoe standing over his shoulder and the hero of Canton walking around like nothing's going on. Maybe they're not experiencing the G-forces at this point, but then they should be floating around unless they're wearing those magnetic boots from Face Off that keep you rooted to the floor. So gravity is clearly having an effect on them, so every time he banks hard or flies up or loops upside down, they should be getting thrown all over the place. Finally, there's Zombieland, which ends on a high note as Tallahassee finally gets his precious Twinkie, but you can be forgiven if you were too distracted by Little Rock's ability to teleport to be happy for him. When all the zombies at Pacific Playland are defeated and Columbus and Wichita finally get together as Little Rock rolls her eyes at them, they all walk off looking for Tallahassee. Naturally, they find him at a concession stand looking for a Twinkie, and all looks lost when the itchy trigger-fingered Columbus gets startled and shoots 2 rounds into what may very well have been the last box of Twinkies anyone will enjoy in the whole universe. Then the girls trick them into believing that they are leaving yet again when Little Rock pops out of the sunroof and throws him a Twinkie. But seriously, how does she get it? She didn't run ahead, as she's shown to have stayed with Columbus and Wichita from the moment he helps them from the blast-off ride, and it's not like she had it on her the entire time waiting to give it to him as a surprise, as they left Bill Murray's house that morning with no intention of seeing the guys ever again. They were even shocked when Tallahassee and Columbus showed up to save them at all. There was no reason for her to have had it, and no way for her to have gotten to it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Tell me, which of these moments left you scratching your head? And what other scenes do you know of that made absolutely no sense? Let me know in the comments.